Hello, welcome. So the idea for today's video goes entirely to Holly Brown. You should go check out her channel. She does some really fun videos about comics and drawing and stuff. But she did a video recently about drawing her characters based off the silly poses that anime characters get put into for like figurines and stuff. And it was really cute. It was a really fun video. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that with our characters. So I'll put a link to her video. Maybe on screen, maybe down below in the description, I don't know, but go watch it and then come back and watch this one. So I started out by drawing our lovely Trixie as Dark Magician Girl. We were trying to find characters that suited the vibe of our own OCs. So while I am doing like Holly's video drawing like the silly poses, I also wanted to draw our characters in the silly outfits because anime outfits are like a whole thing. So first I drew Trixie looking all cute. The interesting thing about like anime figurines, I don't know if they're called figmas or figurines or something. I'm not up on that lingo, but I find like they're definitely... Well, the poses are very silly, because if you do any of, like, the cutesy anime poses, it's like, what even is this? How do you stand like this? This is silly. But at least with, like, a figurine, they kind of have to make sense, because they're in 3D, opposed to, like, you could look at a 2D anime drawing, and sometimes it's like, what? That's not humanly possible. What is going on here? I mean, I guess any kind of art form can do that, but... You know what I mean. It was definitely a little tricky at first translating the characters' bodies, like the figurines' bodies, to my own characters, because some of them have very different body types compared to like the tiny, rail thin little anime girls. Because Trixie, like she's a skinny girl, but she got some hips and she got some thighs. So yeah, had to translate everything over to my own style. But it was really fun. I think it's also a nice challenge, I think, for if you want to learn how to do poses. Because some of them, like, I feel like I've drawn similar things before for our comics. But some of them, it was like, oh, this is, like, I probably wouldn't have drawn a character doing this before. So it was kind of interesting to just try something new. It's similar to, like, fan art. So my feelings on fan art, I did one video about it, like, forever ago. But my own feelings on fan art are, like, it's a really interesting way to get experience drawing things you wouldn't necessarily design yourself. For example, like costumes. You know, I would not design a costume like the one I am currently drawing here. But drawing fan art, drawing characters in different costumes that have already been created by other creators, it really helps you kind of learn different design ideas and try out things you wouldn't normally try, which can later inform your own work. Because I find sometimes I will like I'll do a study or I'll do a piece of fan art, and then in a later design when I'm just trying to come up with my own character, I'll be like, oh, I could do a collar like this or a skirt like this. Because now it's in my little brain. It's in my little catalog of things I know I'm able to draw now. So yeah, so I think this exercise in particular is good for similar reasons. It gets you drawing poses you might not normally draw or clothing you might not normally draw, while also having like, you know, you get to draw your own characters in these poses. It's not like, I guess it gets rid of an extra layer of like having to figure out how to draw this new character, because you can just draw one that you've already drawn a million times. You already know how they look. And isolating like things like that, like different pieces of, say, a character, and kind of minimizing how much new stuff you have to learn all at once, is like a nice little learning tool. So not only is this memes, it's also a learning device for if you want to learn how to draw. Heck yeah. Okay, so we're on to drawing number 2. This one just screamed Finch energy. If you've never read our comic, The Magpie, which is the comic that Trixie is from too, who's the first character on here. Finch she just has like gun energy and also goth energy. She's an angry bird girl who's coming to rip your babies in half. So yeah, so when Bones and I were looking for like the perfect figures to draw, he found this one. and we were like, it's just Finch. I think initially we were thinking of putting Amanda in it, but then we found a way better one for Amanda, so that'll be coming up. Spoilers. But then we were like, we found a better one for Amanda, so we were like, put Finch in this. This is Finch energy right here. I had a little difficulty with her face. It's been a while since I've drawn some of these characters. Some of the main characters, like Amanda and Trixie, I feel like I can draw pretty easily without reference, where I'm like, I've drawn this a bunch of times. It's like muscle memory at this point. So sometimes I'll look back and be like, oh, I was totally drawing this off model. But with Finch, she does come up. No, she doesn't come up that much throughout the comic. There's some major scenes with her in it, but I'm not always used to how to draw her because it's so like far and in between that she shows up. And it's also been a while since I've touched the magpie with drawings. So, so I had to kind of sit down and figure out how to draw her face and make it look like her. She has a very distinct look with like her feathers and her black eyes and stuff, but also she's just like cute lady. I don't know. She's a little generic, I'll admit. Had to figure that out. It was very fun drawing the dress like this. It's similar to dresses I've drawn in the past, because I like that kind of like, I guess it's like Lolita fashion or whatever, but I like to draw pretty dresses. I also like to draw like historical dresses, and I know historical dresses do not look like this whatsoever, but they use a lot of similar pieces like frills and bows and stuff. So it was fun, and they're definitely one of my favorite things to draw is frilly little dresses. So yeah, it was nice playing with a design that I did not have to make up on my own. So, ooh, woo. Once I got her face down, the rest was pretty easy. I hope you noticed that I did not render the gun very well, because heck that. Who needs them? It was also a little difficult to see the exact details on little things in the image, because the image was pretty small that I found. So I just went with the general gesture and getting the costume down. Yeah, and again, I had a little trouble with the proportions of the characters, because I find that these anime figurines, they have super long legs, super long and skinny legs, and it's especially hard when you're dealing with a character in a skirt, because you can't always tell where their hips are and where their waist is, and it's especially weird when they have super long proportions, because you're like, are the hips here, are the hips there? I don't know. So I had to kind of make it up, and I think I actually corrected the legs because they were a bit long there. Once I was done with this one, I decided to add a little bit of color, just because by the end it felt like it went a lot quicker than the Trixie one did, so I was like, I'll add some little sparkle shine to this, why not? It's also mostly black and white, so very easy. Yeah, I didn't want to go too crazy with it. These are just for fun. I didn't want to spend the whole time finishing these. It was more just to get the pose down and the costume and have a really fun time. So there you go. There's Finch. Isn't she cute? She's gonna mess you up. Oh no. Okay. So now we're on to Amanda. So we realized that Amanda, she's got like the same energy as Ryoko from... Oh, shoot, is her name Ryoko? I think so. Anyways, the main character from Kill la Kill. So they have like same energy. They're both gonna go take down the bad guys and save their dad. Well, I guess Ryoko didn't get to save her dad, but same energy. And they also kind of look similar, at least when Ryoko has her hair down. Anyways, so we found this. We were like, we gotta draw Amanda in Senketsu. So there you go. It was a little weird though, just because it is such a revealing outfit. And I know the point of this outfit is it's supposed to be so revealing, it's like ridiculous and funny. It's very satirical of like girl anime outfits. But it was still weird, especially because like, and don't get me wrong, I've drawn Amanda in like not very much clothing because we've had some little smoochy scenes in Magpie. But I was like, it's weird. It's weird drawing her in a little skimpy outfit. This is not something she would wear whatsoever. But in the end, I just had to kind of remember that it's funny and don't worry about it. So it is a very funny outfit. Sorry, I'm just staring at it. I'm like, what even is... The skirt kills me. It's my favorite. It's so funny looking. We also changed Senketsu because his eyes are like the big horn things that come out of her shoulders. Well, I guess they start at like at her collarbone. But anyways, so instead of it being Senketsu's face, we changed it to the magpie's eye, as you'll see later. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to draw this. Very weird, but very fun. I showed it to our Patreon supporters on the Discord, and they were losing their minds. I was too when I was drawing this. I kept giggling, and Bones was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Look." So yeah, so poor Amanda had to dress like this. I don't think she cares because she's got a big sword and she's gonna go destroy Mother Magpie. So with this, I did a bit more inking. I found with all the different pictures, I did kind of different levels of finishedness to them. Some of them I just kind of went through really quick, and some of them I spent a bit more time on inking them. I found for some of them, the undersketch that I was doing was kind of wibbly and wonky, and I actually found my hand kind of shaking when I was working on them. It was weird. I'm probably just tired or holding my pencil weird. But yeah, so I found with some of them, they were messier than others. So I really wanted to go on and add that kind of extra bit of foundation to it. Maybe not foundation, but build up more, get the forms a little less weird looking. I found it especially with Amanda's face here and her torso, they were kind of wobbly. It was probably because I was figuring out how the outfit works, because it's kind of defies gravity and sense. So yeah, going over it, inking it, kind of really quick inks, kind of helped stabilize everything and make it look a little more solid. And then I added like just some little colors, nothing too deep. Again, I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this. It was just for fun. Just a little cute little exercise. But yeah, I really like how her legs turned out. They feel very sturdy. I think it helps, just that outfit really outlines her legs because it has little lines that run down the front. And it really just shows how the legs are built, because it gives you like a contour line right there. So it was a lot easier to follow than, when you're just staring at legs. So yeah, if you're ever having trouble with how to draw heckin' legs, just draw some contours on there and you'll figure it out. Okay, so moving on. We had to do a 9-point character one, obviously, because there are cat girls everywhere in anime. I don't know who this girl is. I know she's from Sword Art Online, maybe? I think. But she's a cat girl, so we're drawing Queen Snow in her outfit. This one, I had a lot of trouble figuring out how the outfit worked. It's got a lot of layers to it, and at first glance, it looks simpler than it actually is. So forgive me if I got some things wrong. I probably could have went and grabbed some more references of what the character's actual outfit looks like. But I didn't wanna. So here we are. It's not a very hard pose to draw, but there's so much overlap, at least with the angle that this picture was taken from. There's so much overlap. It was a little bit hard to kind of tell where everything was, and where sleeves end and where lines and pieces of metal begin. I was like, what? Huh? Who? It definitely helps that it's on a 3D model, opposed to a flat drawing, just because it does give me a bit more hint at the depths of things, understanding if this is overlapping or if they're part of the same piece of clothing. But yeah, still a little hard to see just because the pose is so overlapped all over the front, the hands and the bow and the arms are all overlapping over the torso and the legs, so it was a little hard to see what was happening there, but I tried my best. I also wanted to make sure to put the hair on top of Queen Snow, because we don't, I know some furries will put, they'll add, extra hair, I guess it's sparkle dogs or whatever, but they'll add, longer tufts of hair to mimic, human hair, which is totally fine. I think it's cute on a lot of stuff, but we don't do that in 9-point. They just have animal fur, like a typical animal. But I had to give her the little wig, because she is kawaii desu now. Ooh woo. So yeah, there's Queen Snow. Enjoy. Sorry, I just think it's so funny. Okay, and then to finish off, I had to draw Evan and Rizzo as yaoi boys. I found these because I was like, okay, we've got a bunch of girls. Let's do some of our guy characters. And then I found these when I looked up, I think I just looked up guy anime figurine, and these showed up, and I was like, yes. So, Evan and Rizzo are from Pretty Mouth, which is our BL comic thing. It's related to Magpie. They're both horror comics. But the funny thing about Pretty Mouth is that it was kind of our response to a lot of like BL comics and stuff that like a lot of tropes we didn't like in it. So it's kind of fun to draw Evan, who is not a great character, in a silly little bunny outfit. And Rizzo, of course, is a little sweetie. I don't think he understands what's going on. I also made sure to add Evan's mouths, so that's part of the comic, because he has a mouth on his neck and a mouth on his chest. The one on his chest is like monster mouth. Man, explaining Pretty Mouth with no context is so difficult. It's such a weird comic. But yeah, it was fun drawing these guys again. It's been a while since I've drawn them, especially in any capacity that is anywhere near as finished as these, and these I wouldn't even count as very finished or cleaned up. But it was fun. I was surprised by how easy it was to draw them again, despite the fact it's been a few years since probably the last time I've touched them. And really, their designs are pretty simple. I did go back and I looked at Pretty Mouth just as reference, because I was like, I remember how to draw Rizzo, but Evan's kind of generic looking. What do I do? I was cackling through these. They are just ridiculous. Especially Rizzo's. I was just like, I can't draw my baby like this. He's too pure. But yeah, they're ridiculously suggestive. Also, very long. Again, with the really long proportions where their torsos are super long and their legs are super long, but also their shoulders are really small. I don't know. Like, when you look at it as a whole, I'm like, oh, that looks nice. This is good proportions. And then I try to draw it and I'm like, what is this? Wah, hoomst. Evan's was a bit easier to comprehend just because, like, I find poses that have, like, foreshortening in them, and characters that just aren't, like, just standing there upright, where I have to really think about how to draw things more, about, like, perspective and proportioning and stuff, where it's not as straightforward, and my brain can't trick me into thinking I know how to draw it. I find that it turns out a little easier and it's a little easier to comprehend, whereas sometimes drawing a character who's just standing there is harder because I have to get rid of all my preconceived notions about how it looks. So yeah, so Evans was definitely a little bit easier to draw just because it challenged me a little bit more to really think instead of just drawing what I know. And of course I got the proportions all wrong. Evan looked really weird. He looked too tall, so I had to go and make him a little smaller because he's honestly shorter than Rizzo by a lot. Whereas I think the two characters in the figurines are more around the same height. So yeah, there you go. There's the bunny boys. Thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making it. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. I love drawing silly little challenge videos instead of doing my actual work. So let me know if you think it's fun, and also go watch Holly's video because her video was a lot of fun and I'm really happy she got this idea because I had a lot of fun doing it as well. Okay, so yeah, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, I guess, or hit the like button. I don't know. How does YouTube work again? It's been a while. Ooh, goodbye.